Hey guys, so I know I said it. I said I was gonna stop talking about this boy, but you guys keep asking me about this specific story time. And you know what? As I keep thinking, I'm like, I have a lot of good stories that happen with this dude. I'm not gonna make him my entire channel or anything like that, but I will sprinkle in some experiences from time to time, because you know what? What is the number one thing that is pushed here in America? Capitalism. So you know what I'm gonna do? Capitalize on my trauma. So here we are. Yes, please watch the ads, okay? Because that's all this is. Like, this is literally so freaking stupid. And to be honest, I have never really told somebody the whole story, from like what happened before, like what led up to it, what happened exactly, and then what happened after. I don't think I've told anybody the whole full thing. So this is what it's gonna be. I'm going to tell you guys what it is. So go ahead and get what it is that you need to get. There's going to be a lot of referencing to previous story times. So if you're not caught up, I'll try to put as I go along, I'll try to put the cards to the stories that I'm referencing. But it's kind of all jumbled up because it's all kind of happened around the same time. So if you can keep up, cool. If you can't, just watch my other story times first. Come back to this one. All right, so let's get into it. Now, this is going to go back to when, this is after the Texas incident happened, when he went to Texas, and I was over it. I was done with him. I wanted nothing to do with this boy anymore. I had reached my wits end. My 2 feet, everything was out the door. All right, I was out of that relationship mentally, physically, emotionally. I was just done. So he gets back from Texas, right? And this is when his baby mama, it wasn't his baby mama at the time, it's his baby mama now, but she's stupid, so I'm gonna just call her that because I'm not gonna give her a name. So this was when she started kind of putting in his ear that I was talking to her ex. Like, that's where this whole thing started happening. So it was really weird because I didn't even know her ex at the time, but I ended up meeting him, and that's how we became cool, and that's how we ended up like chilling with each other, was because of that whole incident. So it's the Texas story time, then it's like my love triangle from hell story time. So this is between that era of time. I had stopped talking to him. I wanted nothing to do with him. I was moving on. And the reason I remember all this stuff is because I had been coaching volleyball and I started dyeing wigs. So I was so busy. I literally, after me and Armando broke up, when I broke up with him, I just wanted to throw myself in anything. So I was so busy. I was working at the hair salon. I was dyeing wigs. And I was coaching volleyball. So I had no time for the mess. I had no time for the nonsense. And, you know, I was chilling with her ex. I was, can't lie. I really was. So Samantha was busy. I had things to do, all right? So when he would be like texting me, blowing up my phone, stuff like that, I really wasn't paying attention to it because I really just didn't have the time to, or the desire, like, hello. So it had gotten to a point where he kept constantly threatening to unalive himself. Like, he would send me pictures of pills. He would send me pictures of like all kinds of, like, literally all kinds of stuff. This man would send me pictures of, threatening to do stuff to himself, threatening to do stuff to me. And like, honestly, I'm telling you, Armando was off his rocker. Like, one day he would be like, oh, if something happens to me, don't ever bother coming to my funeral, da-da-da-da. That was what he would say one day. And then the next day he would be like, I just want you to know that I'll do anything for you. I love you. Like, you're my best friend. You're the only person I want to be with. Like, he was crazy. Oh my God. So he would do stuff like that. So I didn't respond. I just ignored it because I was over it. So one day he just kept sending me pictures. Like, he's like, I want to talk to you. I want to see you. Like, can I just talk to you one last time? Like, I just want to be with you one last time. And he would send me pictures of pills, and he would just be like, I'm going to take all of them right now. Like, he was crazy. Like, it's wild. Like, so he was sending me all that stuff. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to talk to this boy one last time. Like, give him the closure that he needs. Give him whatever it is, because I don't understand. And at this time too, I had texted his mom because I was over it. I was like, I'm tired of this man putting the burden of his life on me. Like, I'm the reason why he's gonna unalive himself. Like, what? And at the same time, like, I kind of felt bad for him, but I didn't feel bad for him. Obviously, it's manipulation, but at the same time, I'm like, if anybody it should be in that position, it should be me. You literally, like, cheated on me 1,000 times. You were such a terrible person. You broke my heart. Like, I feel like that's a little, for you. Like, you did all this stuff to me, but then you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to, like, whatever. So I had messaged his mom and I was like, hey, I think you should, like, check on him because I don't know what his problem is. He keeps texting me that he's going to, unalive himself, and I'm over it. And I had misread her message. She had told me to call her. Honestly, I don't know how I misread her message, but when I looked back at the messages later on, I don't have the messages anymore, but when I looked back on them, she was saying, like, to call her, and I never called her, but whatever. So he just continued that same thing. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to see this boy one last time. This is going to be the last time I ever talk to this kid. And he can say whatever he has to say. I'm very much firm in my belief, like, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. Like, I have nothing to say to you. I have nothing that I want to deal with you. Like, we're done. So he was like, okay, like, can I please see you one last time, whatever. And I was like, letting him know, like, this is going to be the last time. I'm not talking to you after this. Like, please leave me alone after this. So he's like, okay. So we meet up in the parking lot of Publix, okay? We meet up at Publix, and it is so crazy the way this worked, right? After that whole thing happened with him and that girl in Texas, he got into a car accident. And he had to get a new car. I'm not going to say that karma was on my side, but you cheated on me and then you got into a car accident. I mean, anyway. So he got into a car accident, and so he was in his new car. Mind you, his new car was like this bright blue car. I go and I meet him in the Publix parking lot, and I get into his car. And he was basically doing the whole speech about how he's really sorry about everything that he put me through, that he loves me, and that he's never going to do anything again, and he promises that he's going to change because I'm the only one that understands him, I'm the only one that gets him, blah, 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 whatever the whole thing was. Mind you, if you saw my toxic relationship story time, he had a whole other girl up in, like, Chattanooga, whatever. So he had this whole thing going on with a whole other girl in a different city while he's sitting here talking about he's gonna unalive himself and that I'm the only person that gets him and I'm the love of his life and blah 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 blah, blah whatever, right? So we're sitting in this Publix parking lot and he's telling me this and I'm just listening and I'm just like, okay, I hear you, I understand you, but at the same time, like, we're not gonna ever get back together. I'm done with this. You and I are done. I have no words to say to you, whatever. I'll be your friend, but we're not gonna be together. And he was like, okay, I'll take that. Like, as long as you don't completely leave my life and I can still talk to you and we can still be friends because you're my best friend, blah, 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 I'm okay with that. So I was just like, okay, don't ever in your life be best friends or friends, whatever. If you're going to break up with somebody, cut them off, never speak to them again. I'm telling you. So I thought, mind you, we were at Publix. And when I left, because I remember I had to be home by 10. So I remember that when we left Publix, it had to have been a little bit before 10 or at 10 p.m. at night. So I'm thinking, I'm going home, you're going home. That's what I had in my head. So, okay, cool. We leave after this whole debacle and I go home. I'm sleeping in my bed in my house, so calm and so peaceful. And then I get a phone call from Armando. And so I, like, pick up the phone and I was like, hello. And it was, hi, this is Officer da-da-da-da from da-da-da Police Department. I'm just letting you know that your friend Armando here is going to be arrested and he wanted to let you know so you can make arrangements. And I was like, huh? I thought it was a joke. To be 100% honest with y'all, I really thought it was a joke. Like, I did not understand. Like, it didn't process in my head. Mind you, it's like in the middle of the night. It didn't process to me that this was real. So he's like, I'm going to put Armando on the phone so he could tell you what to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and take him. So I'm like, hello. And then Armando's just like, Samantha, I'm getting arrested for a DUI. I'm gonna call you when I get to the thing. Like, when they give me my phone call, I'm gonna call you. So make sure you answer your phone. And so I'm just like, you're being so serious right now. And he's like, yes, I'm being serious. And I'm like, are you stupid? Like, you're dumb. Why didn't you go home? Like, I'm just going off on him, talking to him, like, telling him how stupid he is because, like, why didn't you just go home? Like, we were done. Like, what were you doing? I was confused and I was mad because I'm like, there's no reason for you to, why are you drinking under the influence? Like, why are you driving under the influence? What is wrong with you? So I was so confused. So he's like, you're on speaker. Stop talking to me crazy. You're on speaker. You want my help, but you're telling me I have to stop talking crazy, boy, whatever. So he hangs up the phone and I'm so confused because I'm just like, at the time I was like, what, 18, 19? I didn't know what to do. So Armando had this best friend. We are going to call him Drake. So Armando had this friend Drake, who I despise. To this day, I still despise him. I just don't like him. But he had this friend Drake that me and him, we did not get along. We had argued so many times. Like, me and Drake, we were not cool. I did not like him. I told him on several occasions how much I did not like him. So we were not cool, and his number was blocked. He was the only dude. Drake was older than us by a couple years. So I was just like, I ain't never been to jail. I don't know who else has been to jail. I have no clue who has been to jail. So I know Drake's been to jail, so I'm going to call Drake and see what he can do. So in the middle of the night, I pick up my phone and I call Drake, Armando's best friend, who I hated. And he was like, hello, who is this? And I was like, it's Samantha. Armando just got arrested and I don't know what to do. He called me. He told me that he got pulled over for a DUI and that he is going to jail and I don't know what to do. And so Drake was like, okay, I don't know, like, we're gonna have to bond him out. Do you have the money I can put in to get his thing out? And at the time, like, I didn't have that much money. I had maybe $500, like, and I didn't honestly, to this day, I don't know how much it was for a DUI. I think it was like, with a bondsman, it's like $150 or something. I don't know. So he was like, you know, we'll try to get him out. Just come pick me up when he calls you. When they give him a phone call, just come pick me up and then we'll do something. I was just like, okay, whatever. So time went by. I had no idea, like, what to do. I was just sitting here like, okay. So I put my phone on high volume and I was just like, I guess when he calls me, I'll try to figure this out. Like, I don't know. So fast forward to 4 a.m. I get a phone call from the county jail and it's Armando and he's like, hey, I need you to get a bondsman and I need you to come get me. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need you to come get me. So this is the blind leading the blind here because you went to jail. I don't know why. Like, I don't know how you get somebody out of jail. I've never been to jail. So I don't know what this is. And, like, I've never been in the position to, like, get somebody out. You know what I mean? So I was just sitting there. So I called up Drake and I was like, hey, he just called me. Like, I'm going to come pick you up. Send me your address. I'm going to come pick you up so we can get this fool out of jail. So in the meantime, I was just like, should I tell his mom? Because I had spoken to Drake and he was like, I don't think I'll be able to bail him out. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know how this works. I've never bonded somebody out of jail before, so I don't know. And he was like, yeah, I don't know either because Drake is... So I was just like, I don't know how to get this fool out of jail. Like, I don't know. So I was like, should I call his mom? And Drake was like, to be honest, like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to want you to call his mom, but I don't know. So we're both sitting here like two idiots. And so I was just like, you know what? Let me call his mother. So mind you, it's 4 in the morning. I'm sitting in my room like pacing because I'm like, how am I supposed to get this kid out of jail? I ain't never been to, like, I don't know. So I call his mom and she was like, hello. And I was like, hey, I'm really sorry to bother you at this time of night. I don't really know how to tell you this, but Armando got arrested and he's in jail right now. And I don't know what to do. I'm telling you, as like a girl, like, if I have a son, let some little girl call my phone talking about my son is in jail. Like, whew, so crazy. So I told her and she was just like, okay, where is he? And I'm just like, he's in the county jail. He got arrested. I really don't know what happened. He just called me and told me that he was going, and he just called me from the jail right now to let me know that he has a bond, but I don't know how to do this stuff, so I'm calling you to let you know, pretty much. So she was like, okay, thank you. And that was the end of the conversation. She didn't say anything else. Was like, okay, thank you. So I go ahead, I get up, I go drive to Drake's house, and I go pick him up, and we go to the county jail. So we are sitting outside in the parking lot of this jailhouse. We are sitting outside of this county jailhouse, and I'm just like, what are we supposed to do? Mind you, I don't like him. I don't know if he had any type, but I know we used to fight back and forth, but like, I think it was really one-sided. Like, I just really did not like him. So we're just sitting here. I don't like you. You're not really fond of me, but we have like a common goal, but really we don't, because I'm not Armando's girlfriend. I know that you know that he has 10 other girlfriends. So like, seriously, like, what is this, to be honest? So I go ahead and I get a phone call from a bounty person, like the bondsman, I guess. And they were like, oh, is this Samantha? And I was like, yes. And then they were explaining the process to me of how to bond somebody out. First of all, you got to be 21. Second of all, you have to have like pay stubs of like a full-time job or something. And it was just like all these requirements. So I basically look at Drake and I'm like, hey, I don't meet any of these requirements. I think you need to, you're the one that needs to bond him out. So me and him are trying to figure out like how to bond somebody out. Like, we're just like I'm telling you, two idiots that don't even like each other trying to figure out how to bond somebody out of jail. Stupid. And then like, I was getting upset because I'm like, haven't you been to jail? Like, how did you get yourself out? Hello. So that was just like the whole thing while we were in my car. Well, as we're like over here arguing type deal, I see his mother pull up. So his mom pulls up, and her husband, Armando's dad, get out of the car. And I'm just like, should we get out? And he's like, yeah, let's go ahead and get out. Mind you, Armando's mom wasn't too fond of me because she swore that I was toxic. And she really wasn't fond of Drake because Drake had already been in his own situation. Like, he's already been in jail, kind of a bad influence. You know, we're just, yeah. So we get out the car and his mom is not even acknowledging us. Like, she just walks into the jailhouse and we're just kind of like following behind her. So we go to the part of the like jail place where you go and you speak to the person at the window to like try to bond them out. So his mom and dad are like talking to those people, and then me and Drake are just kind of sitting back like so it gets to the point where they did what they had to do. Their bondsman comes in. His mom got everything together. She's bonding him out and whatnot. And so it's just like this awkward waiting game where me and Drake were sitting on this bench, and Armando's mom and dad were like in front of us or whatever, but they were not talking to us. They were not looking at us. So his dad comes up to us and he was like, what happened? And Drake was just like, oh, well, you know. I'm like, bro, what are you talking for? Because he did not call you. He called me. I'm the one that knows what happened, but I really don't even know what happened. But like, why are you talking? So his dad, which mind you, Drake was really bad with parents. Like, he just didn't know how to speak to adults. So I'm just like, boy, shut up. So I'm telling Armando's dad, I was like, he just called me. Like, I don't really know. We had met up. We met at Publix, but I had went home and I thought he went home. And then he calls me in the middle of the night telling me that he has a DUI and that, you know, I don't know. So while his dad is like listening, his mom was like, well, why did he call you instead of me? And I'm just like, good question, girl. Why didn't your son call you instead of me? Like, I really want to know what he thought I was supposed to do. But really, like, that's a great question, ma'am. So then his dad was just like, well, this isn't like him. This isn't. And I'm just like, what do you mean this isn't like him? He turned into a whole pothead. Like, he has pills. He was like, send me all these pictures of pills, and you're over here talking about, oh, that's not like him. It's very much up his alley, actually. I'm surprised it took him this long to get arrested. So then his dad had made a comment talking about like, well, do you drink? Do you smoke? And that rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm just like, it doesn't really matter if I smoke like every single morning of the day, 50 billion times a day, and I drink 10 million gallons of alcohol. I'm not the one in jail, am I? Crazy. So how about we focus, okay? Let's bring it back to what's really the problem. The problem is your son is in jail, not me. Okay? So he had made that comment, and I was just like, okay. And then his mom had made a comment, well, I just don't understand why he called you instead of me. And I'm just like, y'all do realize, had it not been for me, y'all would have seen him on the county website where they be putting people's mugshots. So how about we, thank you, Samantha. Thank you. Jesus. So then, whatever, it was like awkward silence. And then Armando comes out. So Armando comes out of the little door or whatever, and he does not say a word to his mom and dad. Like, he literally walks past his mom and dad. And so he goes straight to Drake. And then he goes to Drake and he was like, did you drive? And he was like, no, Samantha picked me up. And so he was like, he looked at me and he like rolled his eyes at me. And I'm just like, whoa, buddy. Hello, you're welcome. Here's my hand. You should kiss it at this point. Like, I'm the one that got you out of jail. What are you talking about? So he just goes ahead and he starts walking in front of everybody, in front of me, in front of his mom, in front of his dad. And he starts walking with Drake out the door of the jail or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, and Armando would do that. He would put me in such like embarrassing positions, especially in front of his mom and dad. And I'm just like, but I'm the toxic one. Can you imagine if I went to jail? If my mom and dad bailed me out of jail and I walked past them and started talking to my homegirl, I wouldn't, like, my mom would be the one getting locked up. Are you dumb? But then you look at me like I'm the toxic, whatever. Anyway, so he walks in front of us and he starts talking to Drake. And he's not saying a word to me. He does not speak not one word to me. So at the time, I had my Civic and it was a coupe. So Drake gets in the back seat and Armando sits in the front seat. And his mom knocks on my window and I roll the window down. You see what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you go to your son's window? Why are you coming to my window? But whatever. So I rolled the window down and she was just like, where are you going? And he was like, I'm going to go with Drake or whatever. And she's like, no, you need to come home. And he's like, I will when I get there. It's like something like that. He was so disrespectful to his parents, like so disrespectful. So whatever. I'm just like, where do you want me to take you? Do you want me to take you home? He was like, take me to Drake's house. And so I was just like, okay. So the whole car ride, we are driving in silence. Like, there is no one is saying a word. We are driving in silence. So he's like holding my hand. And I'm just like, okay. You know how like you're trying to like, you know when you go like that to somebody's hand? I was just doing that. Because I'm just like, how do you console somebody that just got out of jail for something really stupid, but like you don't really like them, you know, that whole thing. So I was just we were just driving to Drake's house. So we get to Drake's house and he asked Drake, he was like, hey, do you have to work? And Drake was like, yeah, I gotta be at work. Because mind you, this all happened at 4 a.m. Drake had to be at work at 6. So he was like, yeah, I literally have to get ready, take a shower, and go to work. And then Armando was like, well, I need somebody to come get my car, like to get my car out of the impound thing. And I was just like, well, I'll just go take you. And he was like, no, you're done here. Like, you're good. You can leave now. And I'm just like, sir, I am the reason you are out of jail. Maybe you're mad at me because I called your mom, but had I not made that phone call to your mom, you would still be in jail. Like, she wouldn't know where you were at. Drake had absolutely no idea how to get you out. Hello. And then you're going to say, like, if you were going to do that, then why did you even call me? Why was I the number that you called while you were going to go to jail? Why didn't you call Drake? Why didn't you call your mom? Like, why didn't you call anybody else? Why are you giving me attitude? And it's so funny because I don't know if y'all watch Yellow K. Is that her name? She's really, really cute. I really like watching her videos. But she was talking about when she got her boyfriend out of jail and he was so unappreciative. And I felt the same way. I'm like, maybe it's a thing with these boys. Like, y'all really sit up here and y'all do the most, and then out of nowhere you flip a switch and you're mad at me again. Like, I didn't do anything to you. So whatever. I was just like, man, okay, fine. Do what you gotta do. So I dropped him off at Drake's house and I go back to my house and I just go back to sleep because I was tired. Hello. Bailing people out of jail is such a long process. So I go back to sleep and then I wake up and he basically messages me and he was like, I don't know why you told my mom, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, because I didn't have anything else to do. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, and then he was like, oh, I think it's crazy how, like, you're going to sit here and act like you love me while we're in the car, but you don't really care about me. You never cared about me. And I'm just like, what? I'm lost. I'm genuinely lost. So then he was like, can you come over? You see how what is that? The flip switches so quick with this boy. So he asked me to come over. And so I go over to his house and he basically, like, we started, this part is kind of a blur. I went to his house and then we started driving somewhere. I got in his car and we started driving. And I guess his mom saw that my car was over there. And she calls him and she basically starts saying, like, oh, if you guys are going to get back together, you guys need to, like, be on a healthier side. She started going in about how we need to be healthy and it's not healthy to be fighting all the time. It's not normal and stuff like that. This whole spiel about toxic relationships. And I'm just sitting there and I waited till he hung up with his mom and I was like, did you tell your mom that we're back together or something? Like, why is she saying stuff like that? He's like, oh, I don't know why she's talking that way. He kept saying he had no idea why she was saying that. Sure. And at the time, his mom actually wanted to take us to lunch or something after this whole incident to talk about the whole thing and I guess give me advice on toxicity. I don't know. I really, to this day, I'm confused why she wanted to go out to lunch. But I'm actually very glad I didn't because I was always so respectful to this woman and she would always throw these low-key jabs and try to make it seem like her son did nothing wrong when it's like, no. So then, whatever, fast forward a couple days, his mom sends me a ticket to the movies. I forgot what movie it was, but she sends me like the scan code to the movie tickets. And me and Armando used to go to the movies all the time, so I thought, like, I was confused. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, what is this? And she was like, oh, like, Armando wanted you to come to the movies with us, blah, blah, blah. And so I called her and I was like, hey, like, I just want you to know that, like, me and Armando are not back together. Like, we're not together. And she was like, oh, I was under the impression, like, he put me under the impression that you guys were working on things. And that's why I was telling you that, like, you know, it should be a lot healthy. It should be different, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, that's not the case. Like, me and him are not together. I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be in a relationship with him. Sorry, like, I don't know what he told you, but this is me telling you, like, I just got him out of jail because I was trying to be nice. And it was, like, an uncomfortable situation, but I don't want to be in a relationship with him. I don't want this to continue. I told him that we could be friends, I guess, but no, I don't. No. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, like, don't feel obligated to come, whatever. She did that whole thing. And so that was the end of that. He's a liar. So no one will ever know besides him and the person that called the cops on him. The story he told me was after we left each other at the Publix parking lot, he was smoking, popping pills. He said he only took one pill and he was on his way home. And he got tired, so he pulled over and he fell asleep. That's what he told me. Does that make sense? No, because his house was literally 2 seconds away from that Publix, so don't get it. Then he said, I was like, if that's the case, then why did they call the cops on you? And why did the cops search your car? Like, why was that a thing? He said that the person that called the police reported that his car was swerving, that there was a bright blue car swerving in the neighborhood, and that's why he got arrested. The world will never know why or what happened. I don't care to know. It's not really relevant. I just know that man got arrested. So why I say his mother said that I was the reason that he got arrested was because she was equating the fact that he was abusing substances because how I made him feel. This came up later on, but that's a whole other issue. But just to skim over that, the reason why I'm the reason he got arrested was because our toxic relationship and how I made him feel caused him to abuse these substances and get arrested and go to jail. Now, I don't know about y'all, okay? But I know about me. And I know about how my parents raised me. It doesn't matter what other people do to you. You are responsible for your own actions, okay? I'm just going to leave that there, all right? But you know how it goes. You know how it goes. Behind every toxic man is an enabling mother who never holds them accountable for not a damn thing. So, yeah, that was a story about how I bonded Armando out of jail, but I didn't. It was a joke. This whole thing is a joke. Like, so stupid. First of all, what? Like, why would a 19-year-old be able to bond somebody out of jail? Oh my God, that was just so stupid and everything. And at the end of the day, like in everybody's eyes, in Armando's eyes, in his mom's eyes, in Drake's eyes, in everybody's eyes, I was just the worst thing in the world. I was the most toxic girlfriend. I was the reason why everything and anything happened to that boy. So, meanwhile, my record is clean. I've been through some, I had my little run-ins, but my record is clean. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay? All I'm gonna say, my life speaks for itself. I know who I am. I know what I do. I know what I don't do. So, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this stupid story time. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, as always. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.